Preparing for a student interview for Finland, it may seem nerve-wracking, but I'm here to make you feel confident and ready. In this video, I'll walk you through how to prepare for this interview, possible interview questions and how to reply or how to answer them, and a few tips to make this interview easy and possible. So if you're serious about your student interview for Finland, then watch this video till the end. I know preparing for your interview may seem to be a very stressful one. You see right here, I'm here to calm those nerves and help you go through this procedure as smoothly as possible. So we're going to start with a couple of tips to prepare for a successful interview. First one will be understanding the requirements. It is important for you to understand all the necessary requirements for a student visa application. I've made a couple of videos about that, so if you want more details about that, you can check my YouTube channel and you would see the student guide that I have previously made. So make sure you watch this video and make sure you gather every necessary documents that you need for your student visa application and carry these documents along. And note that it is not only enough to know exactly what you're supposed to carry along with you, but it's equally important for you to understand your application process and be ready to answer any question that is related to your application. The second thing that you need to take into consideration, practice common interview questions. We'll be discussing that briefly into the video. Make sure you get acquainted to questions like these and practice how to answer these questions effectively and efficiently. If possible, you can practice answering these questions maybe by yourself or in front of your mirror, or maybe you can just call your siblings. Practice answering these questions in front of them until you feel confident enough to answer such questions when you go for your interview. The next tip that you need to take into consideration when going for a visa interview is make sure you're ready to go on time and make sure your dressing code is appropriate. Whenever you're going for a visa interview, consider this to be a job interview, because I know how serious most people get when they are applying for jobs or they are going for job interviews. You dress appropriately and you carry yourself in an appropriate manner. You dress clean, and then by the way, do we not say that dress the way you want to be addressed? So it is the same thing for your student interview. Make sure you have the right dressing code and do not wear overly exposing clothes like short sleeves and stuff like that. Dress professionally when you're going for your interview, and always make sure that you are always there on time. You can be at the venue at least 30 minutes to an hour prior to your interview. It will show some seriousness. Please, I'm begging you, do not practice the African time. I am repeating it again. Do not practice the African time when going for an interview. So these are a couple of tips that you can take into consideration to prepare yourself for your interview ahead of time. So now let's dive directly into some possible interview questions. During the interview, you can expect a range of questions designed to assess purpose or reason for applying for the visa, your financial situation, and your plans after the study. Here are some questions that you may expect when you go for a visa interview, and a couple of tips that will help you when answering your interview questions. Let's dive into it. The first question will be, why did you choose to study in Finland? When answering this question, make sure you highlight the quality of education in Finland, and most especially the reputation of the school that you have applied to, the specific strength of your chosen university, and how it aligns to your specific or future goals. So now, this is how you should answer such question. I choose to study in Finland because of the high reputation Finland education system has and the specific expertise in my field that is offered by my university. Interdisciplinary approach to my program is particularly appealing, and I believe it will provide me the specific skills and knowledge that I require to be a success in my career. So yeah, that is how you would go ahead to answer such questions. You can reformulate this sentence in the way that you can best describe this, but make sure you make them know that you love or you really want to study in Finland because of the high quality of education that they offer, not because it is just one random country that you found out about and that is easy to get there and then you decide to apply there. The next question in no specific order would be, why did you choose to study in the university that you applied in? So one more time, when responding to such question, make sure that you talk about the unique aspect that the school offers when it comes to the program that you decided to study in. If necessary, make sure you do some research about the university, understand their goals, their vision, and try to align whatever visions and goals that they have on their platform to your future goals. And this is how you're gonna say this. I was drawn to Aalto University because of its strong emphasis on innovation and entrepreneurship. The opportunity to work with Professor X, Y, or Z strongly aligns with my career and aspirations. This is the reason why I was strongly motivated to apply to these universities. So you realize that in this specific answer, it equally tells them that you have a depth knowledge not only about the schools, but equally about the reputable professors or teachers that they have in this school. And it will go a long way to prove to them that you are really invested in the program or in the school, whatever field that you're going to study in that program. It equally gives them a sense of excitement within you. Now let's go to the next question on our list, which will be, how do you plan to finance your education and stay? Okay, when we talk about financing here, it is no joke. Finland does not play with the financing. They do not play with it. So if you intend to go and do some gamble here and there, and you can't even explain or account for the money in your account, then it's not going to go right with you. So to prepare for this specific aspect, make sure you are informed about the proof of fund. And one more time, I have multiple videos on my channel that talks about the proof of fund for students and equally the proof of fund for bringing family members. That is in case you want to move to Finland with your family member. Make sure you get acquainted to all this information, and that when you're presenting your financial situation, it is found in there. Okay, so you would make sure that you talk about every scholarship program that you have been given. If you're receiving help from any person, or if you're gonna get a sponsor, for example, make sure you attach their bank statement. Make sure you attach, maybe for example, they may equally ask you, where is the money coming from, the money that your sponsor placed in your account. Make sure at least you have let's say for example it's coming from their salary. Let there be an information like that in your application. And also make sure that you go with the affidavit from your sponsor when applying for your student visa, if you're using a sponsor. But if you're not using a sponsor and it's your money, make sure you can account for every penny in your bank account, because guess what, they're going to ask you. They want to know, because they don't want to entertain any situation whereby you would move to Finland and then at the end of the day you don't have money to pay for your tuition, or you don't have money to take care of your feeding. It is a red flag. Do you understand? You see how red my lipstick is? It is a red flag. This is how you're going to answer this question. I have obtained a 50% scholarship from the school that I have applied to, and the remaining balance is going to be provided by my family to take care of the remaining fee, and equally for my sustenance in Finland, which covers as well the proof of fund. Confidently, of course, this amount is a total of $15,000 or 15,000 euro, which is found on my bank statement. Then you go ahead and present to them your bank statement and every supporting documents. And that is it for this question. The next one is going to be, what are your plans after your studies? This is a very tricky question. The reason why I say it's a tricky question is because in some cases they may want you to practice the skills that they have granted to you through their schools and things like that in the country. Or in some cases where you may have to go back to your home country, then you have to provide detailed explanation. What are really your plans concerning your trip? If your plans is to study and go back to your home country, and whatever skill and knowledge you've gotten from your studies, then make sure you explain that in a clear and concise manner. And if your plan is to stay in Finland, for example, you would equally let them know that your plan is to make use of the skills and knowledge that you have gotten from your studies in the country and serve the country at the end of your studies. And you would be doing everything possible or everything within your power to make sure that you are in a legal stay while doing so. The next question will be, have you ever traveled to any country? Well, if you have never been to any other country, be sincere with your response. You don't need to lie to them that I've been to X and Y. Don't forget, you're providing them your passport information or your passport data page. So there is no way you can even lie about this one. So be honest with them. If it's your first time to ever travel, then go ahead and tell them it's your first time and you're so excited about this opportunity to experience other countries, and most excited because Finland is going to be the first country that you're going to visit. And then you can go ahead and tell them about how you've been doing some self-studies on the Finnish language, and then how you've been trying to get yourself informed about cultural differences in Finland and how to better integrate the society. I have videos about that in my YouTube channel. So you see, my YouTube channel is so loaded with all the necessary information that you need. So make sure you go back to my YouTube channel and watch these videos. This now brings us to the end of the possible questions and answers. The next part of this video is about presenting your case efficiently and effectively. How or what can you do to present your case effectively? Let's dive into it. First thing is confidence and clarity. Make sure that whenever you're talking or you're answering any question, you are speaking with so much confidence and speak with so much boldness and with so much clarity, right? And how can you do this? By practicing the possible answers ahead of time. And even if you are asked a question that you have not practiced before, take a deep breath. Think about the question for a couple of seconds, then answer the question. Make sure do not hesitate in answering a question, and watch your body language. Don't display any timid action or shyness, but just answer the question boldly. And if peradventure you did not understand or hear the question that was asked to you, make sure you ask for clarification. Do not be shy to speak, be outspoken. You can go ahead and ask them that, I'm sorry, I didn't quite get your question. Could you please repeat yourself? And then they're going to repeat the question, and then you can go ahead and answer the question. Being concise but yet thorough in your answer will make a positive impression about you. So take this tip into consideration. The next tip that you need when presenting your case is non-verbal communication. I've talked about the non-verbal communication already. Pay attention to your body language. Don't go and be doing. You're not a baby. You're not a baby. If you're going for an interview by yourself and you're going to the university, for sure you should be, mature upstairs, because there is no baby in the university. Yes, you're your mommy's baby, but when you're going for an interview at above 18, you're considered to be an adult. So you need to watch your body language. Make sure you sit up straight, maintain eye contact, and avoid any sort of fidgeting with your lips or with your trying to look left and right. Look at your interviewer straight in the eyes. The next tip to nail your case is honesty. Always be truthful in your responses. Make sure that you do not contradict yourself when answering the questions, right? Because sometimes they may ask you question one, and maybe question one may be related to question two, and then the answer that you gave in the first question, it contradicts the answers you give in the third or second question. It will show a lot of sign of insincerity, and I will not lie to you, Oyibo people like sincerity. So if you're not ready to be sincere, you have to go back and review yourself, right, and work on that, because you have to be sincere during your interview. At least show a sign of sincerity while talking. Do not show a sign of hesitation, like you're not so sure about what you're saying. Be confident about what you're saying, and be sure and certain about whatever response or answer you're giving to the immigration officers. The last but not the least tip on our list will be make sure you practice. I said it in the beginning of this video, and I cannot overemphasize it. Practice answering questions, right? Practice, get questions like the ones I've shared in the video. Practice answering these questions in front of your mirror with your siblings, until you really feel confident about yourself, until you really feel confident talking, and you see the same confidence that you gain as you practice. Carry that same confidence with you to the interview hall. So this is it about the tips and the possible interview questions that you can find. Let me know if you have any other question about moving to Finland, or if there is any point in my video that was not clear enough for you, and I'm going to include it in my next video. And also, what else would you want me to talk about in my next video? If you have any specific question, as I said, about visa, about application, whatever nature of your question is, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be glad to respond to you or provide you the detailed information that you need for the success in your application. These questions do not only apply to interview questions for Finland. You can use these questions for any other embassy or visa interview that you're going for. Just make sure that you personalize it to the country that you're moving to. This now brings us to the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed every detail here. Do not forget, like this video, hit the notification bell, and share this information to all your contacts. Moika!